Wow, Mia, you look fabulous today. Do you want to show everyone what you're rocking on your face? Wow. For those listening, definitely head over to our YouTube channel to check out Mia's beautiful face paint for today. I won't give away what she's dressed as, but it's definitely a vision in rainbow. Mia, do you recall who we're going to talk to today?
Nora.
Nora. And where did Nora just get back from?
Um, Hershey's Chocolate World.
Hershey's chocolate. Hershey's chocolate. You ready to do it? Should we make some butterfly wings? Question of the week. Mia, when you're on vacation, do you prefer to stay in a hotel or at a big house?
A hotel because I like having free breakfast and watching TV at my breakfast.
You like watching TV at your breakfast? Do you like to sit on the couch and watch the TV at the breakfast?
Yeah.
What hotel did you do that in? Do you remember where it was?
The Hilton.
The Hilton. The Hilton.
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey. It really helped us to have that suite at the Hilton with the free breakfast and the TV in the lobby. That worked out really well for our family. All right, should we bring Nora in and talk to them about some of their vacations? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask. Since this week is Thanksgiving, what is your favorite food? What is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. And what do you do when the pumpkin pie is all gone?
I eat it again.
You eat it again? Do you remember the famous video of what happened when you ran out of pumpkin pie?
Yeah.
Could you show me?
Pumpkin pie.
That's probably Nora when all the Hershey's chocolate ran out. Okay, let's talk to Nora now. What is an Airbnb, Mia wants to know?
What is an Airbnb? Oh, great
I
question.
don't know what that is at all.
Yeah.
You've stayed at a bunch of them too.
Yeah. So an Airbnb is like somebody's house or apartment that they rent out to other people on vacation. So I could go to a different city and I could rent out somebody's house.
Why
And
do I have these headphones?
oh,
Nora, what do you prefer? Do you like staying in hotels better or do you like staying in the Airbnb houses?
I like staying in hotels.
Why do you like staying in hotels?
Because it has a restaurant.
A restaurant. Mia, why did you say you like staying in hotels? You want to tell
'Cause
Nora?
I like the free breakfast and the TV. Would you rather go back to Hershey's Park or Disney World? Hersheypark.
Really? Why Hersheypark?
Because it has chocolates in it.
Oh, yep. Lesson learned. There are not chocolates in Disney World. The chocolates at Hersheypark are apparently better. That's great. Mia, you want to say goodbye and thank you to Nora?
Well, I thank you.
Oh, Nora, it was great to see you. We'll have you over soon.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Turkey. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, Natalia, it's just us moms now. That was so adorable with Nora and her little turkey, and that's perfect for Thanksgiving week. You are one of my friends who has traveled the most during Thanksgiving week. Can you tell us about some of the trips you've taken, what type of transportation you've used, and how you keep Nora calm traveling on such a crazy weekend?
Well, lately we have mainly been traveling by train. Thanksgiving, we typically go up to Long Island to see my in-laws. And we've done traveling by car, especially before uh, uh, Nora started school. And so we were kind of flexible in terms of when we left. But now that we're a little bit more constrained and are traveling more during the like high traffic times, we love to take the train. And the great thing about that is it's just really relaxed on the train. Nora doesn't get carsick on the train, and we always arrive feeling so much better than when we take the car. We always used to get stuck in traffic. So especially in Long Island. Even not on Thanksgiving, it's terrible. So Thanksgiving, I have this memory that's like traumatic from getting stuck in traffic on the way out to Long Island.
Are there techniques you've learned to work around that over the years? Because part of the theme of this episode is all the Airbnb and weekend getaways that you all have done.
A couple of strategies that we use is while we are fairly lax about screens when we're on vacation, we are using the tablet less in the car, and instead we listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And I think taking away the like visual, thing that she has to look at reduces the car sickness. Um, and then being careful about how we drive. I myself am a long time sufferer of car sickness, so I kind of know, like, don't stop and start, a lot if you're able, obviously in traffic it can be hard, but if you're able to like just keep it as smooth as possible and yeah, just try to not make super sharp turns quickly, things like that. And
Yep.
opening the windows is something we try to do, but by then, we often have to stop and just take a break.
So,
Yeah.
since the train seems to be your preferred method of transportation now over Thanksgiving, how do you find a good price on the tickets? Is there a time that you prefer to buy?
Oh, so we take Amtrak, and I have to give a lot of credit to my husband because he is so on top of this, and many, many months ago, he bought tickets for Thanksgiving, and the amount we paid was like a very small fraction of what the tickets were going for the last time he checked. So if you're able to plan ahead, especially for something like Thanksgiving, you really can get some very good deals on Amtrak.
All right, I need to apply that because every time I've tried to take Amtrak on Thanksgiving, the tickets have just been sky high, and I'm
Mhm.
definitely looking for those money saving tips.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get into the Airbnb of it all because, as I told me in our introduction, you all are historically, now we're going to get into why this has changed, but you all historically were the queens and kings of the Airbnb weekend getaway. How did you all get into doing so many weekend trips from the DC area?
Well, how did we get into it? Again, I just give a lot of credit to my husband. Naeem is, he gets all these great ideas. I think just looking online, he, finds places that have, a few interesting things to do. And so it gives us some options when we get there. Did weekend trips before Nora was born, and it was always just so nice to get away. And he could, find good deals just by going to places that, are not like the most high in demand vacation places, but there's just a lot of places to go. Just even going out to Virginia to Shenandoah is just, a really nice thing to do on a weekend, and not just gives our brains a break from all the stresses. Just like sometimes even being at home, you just look around and you think of all the things that you have to do, but when you get away, kind of that all sort of fades away, and it's fun. Yeah,
Especially being here in the city, getting out into nature is so nice. We'll
yeah.
definitely get into some of the destinations that were your favorites versus others that pose challenges. But first, let's talk Airbnb. What about staying in Airbnbs worked so well for you all for so long until it didn't?
It's funny. I've been thinking about this, and I feel like there have been a few Airbnb trips that just worked out super well. And you're kind of always chasing that great experience that you once had. And then there are these times when things just don't work out. Recently, this wasn't an Airbnb, it was a Vrbo, but very similar, process and structure. And we got a message a couple of days before we went to the beach saying that the air conditioning wasn't working, and, our booking, we should probably cancel our booking. And, when you've planned a beach trip for so many months, and, your stay gets, you have to cancel it, and you have to find something at the last minute. It's just, not a good experience. And there are all these stories you see online, and I don't know if this was the case with our host, but you hear these stories of people who, they book something ahead of time and then they realize they can get a better price, so they just cancel the booking that somebody made ahead of time, and they can get more money from somebody else who books last minute. And it's from what I have heard, this is something that is happening a lot, and there's not a lot of protections for the people who made that booking that's getting canceled. So it's again, I don't know if that is what happened in our situation, but it was certainly a problem. And we kind of, after that, we prefer hotels for the certainty of knowing that we're going to have a place to stay.
I had never heard that story, and I didn't know this was going on. Wow.
Yeah.
That is awful.
Yes,
I
it
I
was.
feel so bad for you, and poor little Nora with her beach vacation, too. I mean, poor
Right.
Nora, poor you guys.
Fortunately, we were still able to go. We found a motel that we were able to stay at, and it was clean and it worked, but it wasn't ideal and it was stressful. And it's not an experience we want to repeat. Some other situations we've had is booking an Airbnb that was supposed to be a private one, and then it turned out the host was actually staying in that space with us. This actually happened on our honeymoon. So it was, I mean, the host was kind of realized it was not really going to work, and we were able to get a refund, but that was one of those things many years ago that happened. Other things that have happened with these is just the amount of work you have to do. Like, to check out, you're like almost like doing a bunch of cleaning before you on your vacation, and it's not the most fun thing and can be very stressful.
This is all new to me because for our listeners who don't know, I have historically been anti Airbnb. And I was getting into this conversation with my sister in law, too. Hello, Rachel, if you're listening. I see the advantages of Airbnb if you are bringing pets or if you are staying with a very large group. But if you're a family of 4 or under, or you don't need two or multiple rooms, Airbnb doesn't have loyalty programs. I
Mm,
worry about if the house is going to be toddler safe. And sometimes, again, like you said, hotels feel more predictable. We
mhm,
were in New York over the summer. The air conditioning at our hotel broke. It was fixed the next day because it was a problem for the hundreds of people staying in the hotel. And
mhm.
there's more an incentive for your host to jump on it right away. So
Right.
everything that you're saying makes total and complete sense. So knowing your husband's love of planning, do you all have a favorite hotel brand or chain that you subscribe to now? Is there a loyalty program that you all prefer?
Oh yeah, we definitely typically stay in Hilton brand hotels, really across the spectrum. The most commonly it'll be like a Homewood Suites or a Hampton Inn, but we've done Embassy Suites. We've what's the fancy one in Chicago we did for our baby moon that I forget the name of. We've done the Curio Collection one. So we've done a bunch of different Hilton brands and love the benefits of the points and gotten some really good deals that way. Absolutely.
Same, except we're Team Marriott Bonvoy. I keep wondering, I'm like, should I switch to Hilton? And we are staying Team Marriott for now. The Marriott program has been very good to me. It's basically paid for the next vacation. If I end up having to pay for a hotel like we did in New York, we then
Mhm.
went out to the Phoenix area and stayed in the most gorgeous Sheraton Wild Horses, one of the nicest resorts I've ever seen. And it was all free on points. I was like,
Oh, nice.
thank you, Marriott Bonvoy. That was fantastic. Awesome. So let's jump in now to some of the actual weekend trip destinations that you've done. Which
Mhm.
ones have worked really well for your family?
So the ones that come to mind are one of the most recent one we did went up to Hershey. It worked out super well. Stayed in I think it was a Homewood Suites, and it wasn't in Hershey. It was in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So it was about a 45-minute drive from Hersheypark. Yeah, just everything kind of worked out really well. Hersheypark was super fun, and they still had the Halloween decorations up, which was cool. It was a little bit more relaxed than Disney World. We visited a cafe in Carlisle called the Cat Cafe, where they had cats, and you could snuggle with the cats and play with the cats, and so that was a lot of fun, although difficult to leave when it was time to leave. We've definitely done many trips to Virginia. We did a trip when it was kind of during the pandemic. I remember going down to a place called Barbersville, which is just north of Charlottesville, and that was one of those Airbnbs that like you look back on and you're like, if I could just recreate that experience. It was really fun. At the time, Nora was 2 years old, and the nice thing about that age is that like she doesn't need a lot, like just like the simple things of like being in a beautiful place and being able to run around.
All right, last but not least, let's get into my favorite topic, the Disney of it all. And here's one reason why I was really excited to record with you all, besides the fact that you are awesome people. I've had about 10 friends now go to Disney within the past couple years.
Wow.
They have all came back and said, glad we did it, but it was tough with the crowds, with managing the line system. We wouldn't do it again. You all were the only family that came back and said, wow, that was great. I would definitely go back again. What was it that made the experience literal magic for you?
Well, I guess for us, one thing is, again, credit to my husband, Naeem. He did all the research and planning. And so there was a lot of like sort of mental load that was taken off of me, which I think was great. He's also just a much better planner than I am. So I didn't spend a lot of time worrying about like how to, deal with lines or how to plan out our day. He kind of had a really good idea of how we should do things. The other thing is that Nora was 4 when we went, which felt like really the perfect age because so many of the experiences and rides you can do that are good for that age group are not like super, super crowded to the point where like, you have to wait in line a lot of time for them. So a lot of the experiences meeting princesses, we did one that was so sweet with Belle from Beauty and the Beast, which was like a whole, skit that they did with the kids. The little, rides where it's very slow and it's, animatronics, that was super. So it just felt like there was kind of magic everywhere that was very fun for Nora at that age. And the customer service there is just amazing. We had some moments where there were meltdowns, and without fail, someone would come and try to, make things better, which was, even if it didn't quite work in that moment, it felt nice to have somebody show concern and try to make things better.
They are on top of everything. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's great to hear your recommendation that 4 is a good age to go. Well, Natalia, thank you to you and Nora for coming on. Before we let you go, we're going to play a little game we like to call Final Boarding Call. Some quick hit questions to wrap up the episode.
Okay.
Let's start with your travel essential, the one item you will not leave home without.
Oh gosh, Yoto player. I don't know if folks know what that is, but it's basically
I do not know what that is.
kind of like an iPod, if folks remember iPods for kids, that plays audiobooks and podcasts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's a smaller
Yeah,
device.
we have a mini one. There's a regular one and a mini one. The regular one is a little bit heavy for travel, but the mini one is great. And there you can buy cards for it, and so kids can just put in the card that they want to listen to. So
Oh.
it gives them a little bit of kind of agency about like what they want to listen to, and you can also access some content on the app, which is also, we've also found some cool things there.
And I bet that's helped a lot with the car sickness as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a Tony's box. I love this. You're
Very
you're
similar, I
Hilton,
think.
I'm Marriott. You're Yoto, I'm Tony's. We're covering the whole spectrum today. Excellent. Favorite meal you've had on a trip, a family trip?
Family trip. So we were talking about this, and it's funny because with a family, it kind of comes down to what is the best experience for everyone. And what came to mind is like the more relaxed experiences. And one that we had recently, which unfortunately doesn't close down, but we went to Allentown Pennsylvania. I think it was maybe about a year or a year and a half ago. We went to the circus there, and we stopped at a place called the Potato Factory, which specializes in like baked potatoes. And it was just kind of it was sort of fast casual, and so felt very relaxed. And it was kind of it really hit the spot in that moment.
That's amazing to find those unique destinations and unique restaurants. What a
Yeah.
treat. Favorite souvenir you've gotten on vacation? Let's do one for you and Naeem and one for Nora.
Favorite souvenir. Oh gosh. So uh we have a bubble wand from Disney World that was a purchase of desperation, but it became a very loved object that is very good at blowing bubbles. And, we have that memory of really needing it in that moment, although it was, of course, very expensive for what it is. But it was, it definitely brings back some fun memories.
And what about for you? For you
For
all?
me, I'm not a big souvenir person. I think what comes to mind is just chocolate from Hersheypark, because I don't, tend to eat a lot of candy, but it was kind of nostalgic to be there and enjoy that and have some when I came home.
This is so funny. You're the second mom who during final boarding call said their favorite souvenir was chocolate. I'm sensing a trend. Last but not least, what is still the dream destination on your family travel bucket list?
We really want to go to Colombia. We haven't been with Nora. We were hoping to go during the pandemic. For listeners, my family is from there. I was born there, but we haven't been in many years since before the pandemic and before Nora was born. So that's something we're really looking forward to.
Oh my gosh, what wonderful family memories and time to have with extended relatives. That would be wonderful. Well, Natalia, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully you all make it to Colombia soon and you can come back and chat with us about that experience.
Sounds great. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.